Guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you tonight, which is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. Welcome, everyone. If you're coming back, well, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Great to have you here. Of course, we have a great master topic for the week, and that is timeless principles for living with intention and integrity. All right. The granular topic for today is recognize when you're depleted, pause, reflect, and take time to restore yourself. Series 4, Show 23, Episode number 4. Guys, don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com for, of course, more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which you can do actually 24 hours a day. And you can do that right after the show and anytime during the night. So feel free to do that. All right. If you're hungry, friends, and want to grab something from the kitchen, feel free to do that, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's a drink, whether it's something sweet, whether it's something healthy or not. That's totally up to you. Go ahead and do that and head on back to our show so we can get started, everyone. I have a great show planned for tonight. All right. So, in this powerful and soul refreshing episode of Inspirations for Your Life, I'm diving into something most of us experience, but too few acknowledge. That's depletion. By the way, guys, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm not only a podcast host, but I'm also a podcast coach. And it is my privilege and pleasure to be with you once again on the Inspirations for Your Life show. All right. But here's the truth, everyone. Okay. The truth. Whether it's emotional exhaustion, mental fatigue, or physical burnout, many people keep pushing through, ignoring those quiet signs, those nudges, the signals from their mind that their body is sending. And restoration, guys, isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. So today and tonight, we're exploring 10 essential practices that help you notice when you're running on empty and take powerful, purposeful action to restore yourself. This isn't just about rest, it's about resetting your life to operate from strength, not survival, guys. So grab your headphones, take that breath, take that snack or beverage, and sit back and relax. And let's begin our journey together to renewed energy, sharper, clearer, and more lasting resilience. Our first point is recognize physical and emotional signs of depletion. Depletion often whispers before it screams. You may feel unusually tired, maybe irritable, or unable to concentrate. Emotionally, you might feel numb, anxious, or disconnected from what once brought you joy. These signs are not weakness, they are invitations to slow down and listen. Just like a car flashing a low fuel light, your body and mind are signaling the need for attention. Honoring these signs early on can prevent full scale burnout and start you on the path to healing. All right, guys, number 2, listen to your inner strength, okay, and those signals that you get. Instead of pushing through it, understand that we live in a hustle culture that celebrates grinding and pushing through the pain and fatigue, but ignoring those inner signals can come as a cost, whether it's a tight chest, short temper, nagging inner voice. You need a break. Learning to honor these messages is key to the success of your life. Your intuition and body wisdom are your most loyal allies. By acknowledging what they are telling you, you can shift from overdrive to mindful momentum. And that's where transformation begins, guys. Number 3, give yourself permission to pause. I think a lot of people don't realize that they need to give themselves permission to pause, and they deserve to pause. Many of us feel guilt when we stop and rest. But rest is not earned, it's required. Giving yourself permission to pause allows your nervous system to recalibrate. Even a 10-minute break, a slow walk in nature, a simple of closing your eyes for a few moments can create a powerful dynamic and mental rest. When you reclaim the pause, you shift from constant doing to intentional being. And that's where your creativity and your clarity return. But I think a lot of people, they miss this point. They miss it completely. And I know you're probably saying, John, like that it makes no sense, but I'm here to tell you it makes an awful lot of sense, guys. It makes a lot of sense. All right. So, number four, use quiet moments to gain clarity. Stillness is not empty, it's full of answers. In silence, you can tune into what truly matters, guys. Um, Step away from the noise of phones, alerts, and obligations. Take time to just sit back with your thoughts without any kind of judgment. It's in these quiet moments that insights arise, priorities realign, and new paths emerge. Clarity is often just on the other side of being calm. Number five, guys, you ready for number five? I'm sure you are. Reflection helps you realign with what matters. That's a lot, right? Reflection isn't about reliving the past, it's about learning from it. Learning from it. That's important. Okay. And I think we have to know that we have to realign with what matters. Okay. When you take time to think deeply, you begin to reconnect with your purpose and your values and ask yourself, what's draining me? What's fueling me? This process allows you to identify what to release and what to pursue. It helps you make choices not based on fear or pressure, but on true alignment with your deeper truth. And I think that's something that's hard for a lot of people to understand. Okay. Restoration is necessary for performance and well being. You can't operate at peak performance, guys, when your tank is on empty. Restoration improves not just your mood, but your productivity, your relationships, and your creativity. Sleep, hydration, healthy foods, and exercise are foundational components. They're not optional. When you constantly restore yourself, you show up more energized, focused, and present in everything you do. Success starts with self care. Protect your energy with healthy boundaries. You only have so much energy. Protect it like a priceless resource. Boundaries are not walls, guys. They're filters that protect your peace and prioritize your purpose. Learn to say no without guilt. Limit exposure to people, environments, and digital distractions that drain you. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's self respect in action. And I think we have to realize that there's a difference from being a nice guy to being the person that needs to take care of themselves first. I think that's really important. Number eight, guys, create space for recovery before you burn out. Prevention is always better than crisis and going through recovery. Don't wait until you crash to take action. Schedule breaks, vacations, and digital detoxes. Okay. I think that's a really, I think that's really an important thing. You need that. Okay. Recovery time should be part of your calendar, just like meetings and deadlines. This proactive approach helps you stay balanced, productive, and emotionally centered throughout the year. And it's something you need to do if you want to maintain success. Number nine, make restoration part of your routine. Not an emergency response. Don't treat restoration like a fire extinguisher and being reactive. You want to be proactive. And you only use it when things go up in flames, right? Don't do that. Instead, make it a daily and weekly practice. Build routines that recharge you. Morning walks, journaling, deep breathing, or evening rituals. When restoration becomes habit, it strengthens your resilience and keeps stress from taking control of you, and most importantly, depleting you. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to understand, but it is absolutely the truth. All right. Absolutely the truth. Number 10, our last point for this evening. Recharging allows you to return stronger and more focused. Think of yourself as a battery. When fully charged, you shine with clarity, creativity, and confidence. But when you're drained, your thinking becomes foggy and your motivation drops. Recharging gives you the power to come back, not just refreshed, but elevated. You'll be more strategic, more intentional, and more empowered to make an impact. I think those are important things, but a lot of people miss them because they feel that, taking that break, taking that time is not so important for them. And the reason it's not important is they can't see the importance of it. They can't see, the intangibles. I think that's really an important point of that. So here's the part of the show I really love. Basically, I'm going to give you basically a personal story and or lesson for each point that I shared tonight. And I'm hoping that this will not only get you to connect more with what I'm saying, but it will get you to appreciate it more and allow you to maybe decide to adapt this in your own life. I know that's something that not everybody does, but I think you can make the change if you embrace it, right? Embrace it. Now, embracing is not an easy thing because sometimes when you embrace, you have to admit you're wrong. There's no harm in admitting you're wrong. There's no harm in retooling who you are. Okay, there's no harm in any of that, guys. But I think the ego gets in the way and says, oh, you know what? I can't have a rest because if I have a rest, then somebody else is going to get ahead of me. Well, that's how a small, simple mind thinks. All right. Number one, recognize physical and emotional signs of depletion. There was a time I was juggling multiple projects, meetings, and personal obligations. I told myself I could handle it all. But I started getting constant headaches, snapping at loved ones, and losing motivation for things I usually loved. It wasn't until I realized I hadn't smiled in days that I knew something was wrong. The signs were always there. I just wasn't listening. That experience taught me that our bodies don't lie. Recognizing those early signals is your first act of self-respect. Number two, listen to your inner signals. Instead of pushing through, once while preparing for a major business presentation, I felt an intense knot in my stomach. I thought it was just nerves, and I kept pushing through. But I later ended up, let's say, in a place that I didn't want to be, which was home in bed, with severe exhaustion and dehydration. That was a wake-up call. Your body whispers before it screams. We've said this before. Now, when something feels off, I stop. I tune in. I say, hey, body, what's wrong? What do you need? What am I needing now, right now? It's not weakness. It's truly wisdom. Number three, give yourself permission to pause. You might say, well, gee, if I pause, I'm going to get in so much trouble. Well, you need to be your own boss. Give yourself permission to pause. Years ago, I took my first 3-day solo weekend with no phone, laptop, or agenda. It was there, but it was off. I felt guilty at first, but during that pause, I rediscovered ideas that had been buried under my busyness. Giving myself permission to do nothing became a powerful tool for doing everything with more intention. That pause led to breakthroughs I could never have forced. And the only thing I really do when I take those pauses, I still do the show, right? I do that all the time. But the rest of my day was a pause. Number four, use quiet moments to gain clarity. Use quiet moments to gain clarity. After a challenging business deal had been, let's say, at the edge for a while, I sat in my office long after everyone left. No music, no emails, just some silence. In that quiet moment or two, I asked myself what I truly wanted from my work and my life. The clarity I found led me to pivot my focus into a direction that aligned more with my purpose. Sometimes the loudest answers come in moments of silence. Number five, reflection helps you realign with what matters. One night, I journaled about a week that had drained me. As I looked over my schedule, I realized something. That most of my time was spent on tasks that didn't align with my core values. The reflection helped me say no more confidently, going forward and saying yes to what truly lights up me. Reflection is the bridge between exhaustion and intention. So why don't we start embracing it and start listening to it and watching it so that we don't have emergencies, so that we don't become reactive. If we're proactive, it's a lot more graceful. All right. I think that's a very A very, very important thing to understand that you can do these things. All right. Restoration, guys, is necessary for the performance and well being of everyone. There was a point when I thought grinding 12-plus hour days was the only way to be successful. But after, let's say, a little bit of a scare, it forced me to slow down. I learned that restoration wasn't optional, it was the fuel that made high performance sustainable. Now I treat rest as part of my productivity plan, not a break from it. Number seven, protect your energy with healthy boundaries. I once said yes to every request that came my way from friends, colleagues, loved ones, volunteering to late night work sessions. I was constantly depleted. Eventually, I had to learn to say no with love and yes to myself. Boundaries help me reclaim not just my energy, but my joy. You can't pour from an empty cup. Protect your peace. Okay? You've got to have yourself a full cup. Number eight, create space for recovery before burnout happens. After years of waiting until I hit a wall to take breaks, I finally started planning mini recovery moments into my week, like a scheduled digital detox Sunday or a quarterly retreat. These intentional breaks keep me energized and ahead of the burnout curve. It's not just self care, it's strategic living. I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't embrace that whole concept of self living. They think that there's no point to it. But I'm here to tell you that when you are purposeful in life, magic happens. All right, magic will happen. And when magic happens, it's like suddenly your life is now like just there. Right. I think that's a very, very important thing. All right. Let's move on to our next point, which is number nine. Make restoration part of your routine, not an emergency response. I used to think that rest was something you earned after being productive, but that mindset burned me several times. It caused me to burn out. Now I bookend my day with moments of restoration, whether it's 5 minutes of breathing, a nature walk, or journaling. I even do about a 30-minute meditation before I go to sleep. Half the time I fall asleep during it. My body's appreciating that. And making restoration part of my daily rhythm means I operate from a higher power, from strength, not from stress. Many people tell me, oh, John, I don't have time to rest. Well, folks, you're the one that actually needs to rest, probably the most, more than anyone, or you could be on the road to danger. That could be all kinds of things, could be health dangers. You know, I don't wish anything bad on anyone, but I will tell you, when you don't learn how to rest, you can find yourself in the hospital. And nobody wants that. So take a moment, take a breath. A lot of people I talk to don't know how to breathe. If you just right now, just if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're not, you can just breathe through your nose, hold it, and relax very slowly, trying to control it. Now, if that seems hard for you, that means you need to practice. Okay. And there are different techniques you can do, like, inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 6. There's different things you can do. And you can get into like a pattern. All right. Number 10, recharging allows you to return stronger and more focused and with more creativity. After my first real vacation years, I returned to my business, not just rested, but re inspired. I came back with fresh ideas, deeper patience, and clearer visions. That experience taught me that stepping away isn't time lost, it's capacity gained. Recharge, and you'll return more powerful than ever. So, closing insight for today is the gratitude shift. In this powerful episode, we also explore how gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a mindset. Whether you're in a season of growth or navigating deep struggle, gratitude reframes your story. It turns obstacles into opportunities, confusion into clarity, and ordinary days into moments of meaning. Through reflection and restoration, you'll find space to recognize what's good, even the tough times. Gratitude grounds you, restores you, and becomes the fuel that carries you forward. But I guess what I really want to share with all of you is that many of you are probably saying, "Me, John, I don't have time for this." So if you don't make time for something, you're going to find things are just going to happen. All right. And if things just happen, then I feel that's a really, 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 really big problem. All right. A really serious problem. A problem that you might not think is big at all. But what if that problem got in your way? Right? What if that happened? What if you didn't know how to get somewhere? What if you were constantly confused in life? I think that's a very big thing, guys. What if you were the person that is suddenly trying to find the answers, but you can't find the answers? Why? Because you're not taking the steps. You're not taking the steps. And by not taking the steps, that's a big, big problem. All right. Very, very big problem. A problem that many people just won't realize. They won't understand that it's about you, right? It's about why you do something, right? If we know why we do something, then hopefully it not only inspires us, but it inspires other people too. I don't know you, but I think that's a very powerful thing to understand, like, what all that means. Well, it means that you basically can change if you want to. Let me say that again. You can change if you want to. But how do you change? That becomes hard because you have to find out what you align to. If you don't know what you align to, then there could be a whole challenge for you right there. And I know what you're probably saying. I know you're saying that this is crazy. It's not. The reason it's not is because you now understand why things are a certain way. And maybe once you've had a chance to digest how things are in life, maybe you can adapt a different way. Maybe. Maybe you could think about a different way to do something, right? Maybe you could think about a new perspective. Just maybe. Okay. And if that's truly the case, then I believe a lot can change for you. A lot can change. And by a lot, I mean there's so much potential for you guys. That's really the magic. That's the magic, guys. The magic is finding out what your why is and then going through and broadcasting that why out. That's it. Rebroadcast that why. Does that make sense, guys? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can know that sometimes things are a certain way and sometimes they're not, right? Maybe it's more. Maybe it's the fact that there's so much you can do in life, right? Maybe you're trying to understand what's going on. Maybe you're trying to still figure out your why. Maybe. Maybe you're trying to understand where you fit in. Maybe you're trying to figure out a different way of looking at things. Maybe you're trying to find a graceful way to pause, to reflect, and take time to restore yourself. Doing a cold turkey isn't the greatest thing. So making the choice to do this slowly is obviously pretty amazing. Okay. And I think if you can understand that one thing, guys, that one thing, then maybe your whole life could change. And the way people see you could also change. That could be priceless, guys. That could be extremely, extremely powerful. All right. Very, very powerful. So powerful that I believe it could change your life. But I don't want to tell you that it's going to happen overnight because it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. That's what it's going to be about. It's going to take some time. Think about that. And maybe once you've thought about it, you'll be able to see where things go. You'll be able to see why things are different now. Just maybe. Try taking a pause. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys in these amazing shows and all the other content. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. I'll catch you real soon, everyone. And remember to pause.